kicking y'all? We're back with another episode of Pickin 6, the Pickin Winners Football Pick'em show. My name is Tyler. They call me T-Ho. With me right now is Mr. Locksmith, aka Connor. Connor, how we feeling tonight? I know we just got out of class. How we feeling?
Feeling good. It's going to be an interesting week picking games. I mean, we got some teams on bye weeks in the NFL. Same with college football. Not the best games to be betting. We've got Arizona with a 17 and a half point spread in that game, which probably we won't be touching, but that just goes to show you how weird the lines and the matchups are this week. So all in all, I think we're going to be keeping it short on this one.
Yeah,
But
dude.
Tyler, how you doing? I forgot to ask.
I'm doing fantastic. Georgia got another win over Kentucky. I know that the boy, all of us overall, posted pretty good records. I went 4-2 in the NFL, 3-1 in college, and I feel like then you and I had the same NFL pick, so we both went 4-2, right? Now you had the Chargers game. I didn't pick that one, but
Yeah, I picked the
other
over.
than that, I think we all posted very good records this past week. I think we're looking to do the same, hopefully. So with that being said, we'll get right into it. We got the Chiefs minus 5.5 against the Titans, who just came off of a huge win against the Bills. The over-under is set at 57. Holy crap. 57.5, which is a high number for an NFL game. Connor, what do you think, buddy?
Well, the Chiefs are coming off of a win, their first game contest. And looking at the Chiefs, like how they've played in each of their games, they'll have a loss or a bad loss and then followed up by a win against a mediocre team outside of beating the Browns earlier in the season in week one. But typically the trend, they lost to the Bills, which might want to lead you to pick the Chiefs to cover and win this week. But I'm rocking with Tennessee here. The Chiefs have a god-awful run defense. And as we all know, the Titans have Derrick Henry, the rushing king, stats-wise, top 5 running back of all time. I think, obviously, he's going to be a deciding factor on any Titans game, but I think he's going to run buck wild. Chiefs also going for 2 touchdowns. I think that's probably going to be close to even, if not minus money. And Tannehill looks to be getting better. I mean, he should have both of his targets in Julio and A.J. Brown, which is huge for him. I just think, I don't know, at home, I kind of like Tennessee plus 5.5. The Chiefs don't cover. Decent, almost a full touchdown spread. And the Derrick Henry factor, it's too hard to ignore. I mean, let's look at the season stats. The Chiefs allow 29 points per game, allow 133 rushing yards. That's probably a little bit higher than Derrick Henry's personal rushing yard average.
Yeah, dude.
He's going to blow that out of the water. He's going to have an absurdly high, rushing yard overline, probably going to be around 140. If we're being honest here.
Oh yeah, easy. Dude, his over rushing yards post 90 minimum. His rushing yard overs are at least 90 every the line is over under 90 plus every week.
No, I think it's going to be higher this week.
Oh yeah, I'm saying that I think that you're 100% right. His rushing over is always set high, but he still exceeds it by a lot.
Yeah, I don't necessarily know if his rushing yards are going to be up there. I mean, he's had I feel like he's not due for a huge 70-yard plus rushing rushing yardage, but I think he's going to be very key in their rushing attack and then in the red zone as well.
Yeah. Well, I have a stat right now. Yeah, you ready for this? Right now, Derrick Henry's rushing yards prop is over under 126.5 yards.
Yeah.
Like
Reasonable.
that's insane. And what's crazy is that's not even unreasonable for him. Like it's what's interesting with him is that he's really come into his own. Like when he came out of Alabama, he is not who he is now. You know what I mean? Like he was borderline almost out of the league in his beginning years. Like I forget which year it was where all of a sudden he came back. It was the year that he had that 99-yard run. Like
Yeah.
where he just like went down the sidelines and people were catching him. Doesn't even matter if you can catch up to him and just throw you on the ground. Like type I think that's what really catapulted him. But as far as this game, I think that I'm tending to agree with you. I think that the Chiefs will most likely win this game, but I feel like it's going to be a slim margin. I know that there's so much recency bias because both of these teams just played the Buffalo Bills with different results. The Chiefs did not look good, and the Titans looked very good. So, like, if your barometer is how they play against the Bills, one of the, I guess you could probably top teams in the AFC. Like, I'm also going to tend to lead towards the Titans as well. They do like to cover. They do like to cause mayhem just across their division. You know what I mean? They like to mess with all sorts of stuff. They are 2-0 against the spread as an underdog. They are 2-1 at home against the spread. And like you said, that Chiefs defense is in the they're 23rd in sacks. They're 29th in red zone efficiency. They're 29th in third downs. Like they are just not a good defense at all. So I will lock in my pick as well as the Titans plus 5.5 in that game. Stand away from the total. That is a high total for an NFL football game. Moving on, we have
It's high.
Go
I was
ahead.
just gonna say it's high, but it's not out of reach. I'm not gonna
No,
be
it's
taking it
not because
either, but it's gonna be a shootout.
yeah, it's like will they get there? It's yeah, it's not something I'd be comfortable putting money on, but I definitely want to bet the under either. You know what I mean? Like
That's for sure.
it's over or nothing in that game. Um, now moving on, the Ravens are minus 6.5 against the Bengals. I'm curious about what you have to say. I have a couple thoughts on this. The over under is 47. You can go ahead.
Though I said last week the Baltimore defense is overrated, a lot of big names, not a lot of substance behind it. They did have a good performance against the Chargers last week, holding them to 6, I believe it was. Bengals also have a good defense in their own rights. They give up an average of 18.5 points per game. Ravens 20.5. Baltimore's offense is a bit better, predicated on the run game, both of the running backs, Latavius Murray. I can't remember who else have in the backfield, but also we know what Lamar Jackson could do on his feet. I think the Baltimore offense being predicated on the rushing attack, which opens up opportunities for Marquise Brown, Mark Andrews, other guys on that team to be available targets and have less coverage in the secondary, I think is going to be a big factor. Like with Cincinnati keying in on that rushing attack as the foremost option of Baltimore, I'm leaning under 47 points in this game. Now, I think it's a kind of a risky play, but I don't trust. I don't trust the over. Don't know which team would cover the spread. I think we have a likely chance of seeing an under in this matchup.
Yeah. So looking here, the Bengals themselves and their games, the way I'm looking at it, they're 5-1 for the under. The Bengals. The Ravens are 3-3 split over under. That is interesting play. I want to pick the Bengals to cover. I feel like this like just like the team as a whole. Joe Burrow, I've said it all year. Joe Burrow is spending less time on the ground. Therefore, they are a better football team because of that. You know what I mean? Last year, he was fighting for his life.
Down.
Every down he was fighting just to stay alive as a rookie. Um, I oh, that's a tough game. Hmm. That 47 is an interesting number. I am gonna take. This might be risky. Don't tail me on this if you're not a risky player, but I'm gonna take Bengals plus 6.5. Bengals in the points. I don't know. I just think that like they might be able to either A, cover in garbage time, or B, just sneak one and keep it close with the Ravens. Because the Ravens are not going to look at this game as oh, we're going to have to work the hardest to win this. You know what I mean? I feel like with that division, the Ravens are definitely the favorite because the Steelers are a mystery. Half of the majority of the Browns are now hurt, and the Bengals are just the Bengals. That you don't know what's going to happen with them. But I think that Joe Burrow's improved. Jamar Chase is a weapon, and that they are an overall improved team from last year and can make this a game. Baltimore, we've seen they were favored by a touchdown against the Lions and had to win that game by a NFL record field goal. You know what I mean? So I think that it is entirely possible for the Bengals to cover. As I'm talking, I'm convincing myself more of it. So yeah, I think I'm gonna rock
I
with the
mean,
Bengals.
if I were to lean
Go ahead.
if I were to lean one way on the spread, I'd be leaning towards Bengals plus 5.5 or plus 6.5 rather. I don't know. Like they're both 3-3 against the spread this season, but
Yeah,
I don't know. I just feel slightly more confident in the Bengals, but I'm not giving that as a pick. I'm sticking with the under here.
yeah. Give me Bengals plus 6.5. I'm not gonna touch the total there. I know it's an interesting pick, but it's a very interesting week. Like Connor and I were talking about it before we started to record tonight. There's what 3 games that are over a touchdown spread, and there's two of them are over a 2 touchdown spread. LA is minus 15.5 against the Lions. Like we said, Arizona's minus 17.5 against the Texans, and we have the Bucks favored minus 12.5. It's just a crazy week to bet. I know that we kind of, as a group, follow the rule typically of the favored team of a touchdown or more. You just don't take in the NFL. It's too risky of a play. Anyway, next we have the Saints minus 5 against a Seattle Seahawks team without Russell Wilson. The over-under is 43.5 points. Connor, the floor is yours.
The total says it all. It's not going to be a good game. I don't think we're going to see a pretty looking offense or a good looking game overall. It's a pathetic Monday night football game.
Very.
I mean, no Russell Wilson. Who is it? Geno Smith.
And Geno's not bad, but he's definitely not great. He's a little
quarterback for
Geno Smith is the quarterback for the Seahawks.
I mean, it's just like I wouldn't bet on him. Like I'll be taking New Orleans minus 5. I don't like the pick, but it's a fade the other team pick. Like you're not going to rely and bet on Geno Smith, who's had very minimal time as a starter in his NFL career and little to none over the last 3-4 seasons.
Yeah, he's been backed up for a while now.
Russell, I mean, he does. Obviously, the Seahawks have weapons: Metcalf, Lockett, Carson. I'm not sure of his status for the game.
Alex Collins is a decent backup.
A decent backup, but it's just I don't know. It's literally a fade the Seahawks pick. I think Jameis has potential to do something or cover 5 points. I mean, I don't like it. I don't love it. Barely like it, but I like it enough. Saints minus 5.
Yeah. They actually, before the show started and to now, the line already changed. It's now minus 4.5. It was 5. This line opened if I'm seeing this correctly, this line, whenever it came out or whenever it started, um, yeah, the line opened as the Seahawks favored by 3, and it's already changed to the Saints by 4.5. I think that's insane. I mean, respectively so. I mean, you have the backup running back and the backup quarterback playing. This is I gotta stay away from this one. This is a weird week. This is a weird game. Like I said, you barely love it, and I don't like it at all. So I'm off this one for this week. It's a weird game. Um, our last NFL. We're keeping this short and sweet for y'all this week. Um, our last NFL game is Carolina Panthers -3 versus the Giants. Over under 43. I haven't heard what you have to say, but I have a feeling I know what you're going to say, so I'll let you go ahead.
I mean, those who have tuned into our shows the past few weeks, my position has been fade the Giants. I'm a Giants fan saying this. This is the smart way to go about that. Carolina has been shaky. They started out 3-0, I believe. Yeah, 3-0, right? But without McCaffrey, they're a different story. So extremely banged Giants team defense, the expectations that the organization and the fan base, myself included, had going into this season. I think we see with banged up Daniel Jones, no Saquon, and then the rookie, what's his name? Rookie out of Florida.
Tony? Kadarius Tony?
Yeah, Kadarius Toney out. Galladay's out again, I believe.
Jesus, dude, I didn't know they were that short-handed.
Yeah, and then what's his face? I think
Anthony
Shepard
Slayton.
might be injured or questioned. Yeah. Oh, Slayton. That's the other one who's out. Like, I'm not like Shepard's good. I'm not a huge Shepard fan, and, and I never trust my life on Evan Ingram.
I wouldn't.
And Jemima Butterfingers right there. But yeah, like the Giants don't have much going for them offensively, defensively. They're not strong. So I'm going with the Panthers. Also, Sam Darnold, it's his old stadium, although different end zones. But he'll be at least moderately comfortable. He has a better team overall, like decent defense, like some weapons to throw to DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson. I'm going like they just have to cover field goal. Not asking much. They're playing the Giants. I think they could do it.
Yeah, I agree with you. And talk about comfortability. You want to know who's uncomfortable? Apparently, the Giants are uncomfortable. They're 0-3 at home against the spread this year. Carolina's 1-1 away, and they're 2-1 as the favorite. Obviously, that's probably pre-injury to Christian McCaffrey. However, the Giants, being as understaffed, as it be, I'm definitely gonna make that a unanimous between the two of us. Unanimous pick for the boys. Carolina -3. All right, now we got college. This is once again just another week of, Georgia's not playing, so why even bother? No, I'm kidding. Just another interesting week. I know that last week we talked about Tennessee, Ole Miss, and I told you how much I hated that game, and you saw what happened. Why I hate Tennessee, because they're throwing stuff at Kiffin. I told you I hate Tennessee, dude. There's so many reasons other than them being in the SEC, but overall we did pretty well. I know that we were very excited about that Auburn pick. That was a great one. Bo Nix looked great in that game. They won outright, straight out. I told you all. I mean, I didn't tell you. I didn't have to say it. Arkansas is a fraud. They, have been frauds. Whatever. But anyway, getting into our college slate, we have SMU -14 against Tulane. The over-under is 70.5.
As y'all could tell, I'm a big fade team guy. And like Tulane is not a good football team. They're a drinking school down in New Orleans. They're 2-4 against the spread, 1-5 overall. SMU has cracked the top 25, currently sitting at number 21. They're 4-2 against the spread, 6-0 overall. It's a 2-touchdown game at -14 at home in where is it? Texas.
Yeah, that's Texas. I think it's Dallas. Don't quote me. But yeah, Texas.
Yeah, but they're Texas football state, more of a football. Like I'm picking the football school. They're gonna smack Tulane, cover them easily.
Yeah.
It's also a Thursday game, so this may not be out in time, but you heard it here.
Yeah, we can always put it on Twitter tomorrow if the episode doesn't come out, just so we have that pick out in the world before. Yeah, I'm gonna ride with the Pony Express, baby. SMU has always been like a very not fringe. How can I put it? You might see them in the top 25 for a couple weeks here and there in that 25 through 20 area. You know what I mean? They are very good in their. I'm not sure if Tulane is in their conference. I want to say, I don't know.
Yeah,
I can't tell you whether that
I think so.
is not the case. But what I do know is that SMU historically is a very good football team. And as what you just said, Tulane is a drinking school. They are not a good football team. And so to take SMU to cover a 2-touchdown spread is not not asking a lot from them. So I'm definitely going to make that another unanimous pick.
I mean, just a couple
Go ahead.
statistics to back that up. Tulane allows one rush per game and give up 40 points. It's never good to give up 40 points on average in football.
No. Yeah, their offense is also like 100 and yeah, they're terrible.
Who we got next?
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know if you were still talking. Sometimes it cuts out. It's an interesting one. Very interesting. Probably the most interesting, like the one that I kind of like the most out of our slate as a part of an interesting weekend. Pitt is a favorite -3.5 against the Clemson Tigers, the Fighting Dabos, over under 48 points. Connor, my friend, you know the drill.
Yeah, I like Pitt here. I mean, I just don't like DJ Oogie Badoogie. I don't even know if he's still under center. But like, dude, he is not good. Clemson has fallen off a cliff. I mean, they're 4-2, but
They're lucky they're
they've
4
made no noise. Yeah, it's not a good season to be a Clemson fan. They're 0-6 against the spread this season, 4-2 overall. Pitt's 5-1, both against the spread overall. I think I'm pretty sure this will be Pitt's toughest matchup. I mean, they smoked Georgia Tech in conference team, blew out Virginia Tech, who's a decent football team. Pitt beat Tennessee before the quarterback change, and the one loss came to Western Michigan. So Pitt's definitely a weird team, but I think you got to ride the hot streak. And then 3 points is not a lot to cover.
Yeah, I think that with just the trends of this year, that Clemson is not what Clemson was. Yeah, I don't know if you would classify them as dead, and what I mean by that is their glory over? I don't know. But what I do know is that I feel like Kenny Pickett has been I think that's his name. Pickett has been the quarterback of Pitt for 7 years now. It feels like he's pretty good, honestly. He is definitely a bright spot on that team, and I think that's crazy. 0-6 against the spread is a joke. Pitt's 5-1 against.
I'm glad you said it might be a fade the Clemson year. I just didn't want to say that for the 6th game on the show tonight.
It's true though.
Realistically, what I was thinking here, but also I do like Pitt. They've covered for me a few times this year. And yeah, I mean, like Clemson, they beat Syracuse last week by
Woohoo.
by field goal, beat BC by touchdown. BC's a good team, um, but still, like I really like Pitt here.
Yeah, I just think that I don't know if Pitt's the more experienced team. I don't know what it is, but they definitely have been putting together a good resume, which makes me feel comfortable picking them in this game. I don't think ever in my life I've bet on Pitt football. Being in PA, Penn State is usually the king. Pitt, they say eat shit Pitt. If you ever been in Pennsylvania, I say it all the damn time. It's true, but in this case, not so much. Yeah, I think that this is a prove to me why we should pick you this year, Clemson. Honestly, it's terrible because like they were so good, unbelievable, and now it's ever since Dabo Sweeney was posted on TikTok talking all that shit that they started sucking. The Fighting Dabos just are not what they were. So yeah, give me Pitt minus 3.5. I'm a complete agreement with everything that you said. Next one, we got SEC game, my favorite. Ole Miss -9 against Coach O, who we just found out will not be returning as the head coach next year for the Tigers. I personally like him. Crazy guy. Over under 76. Excuse me. Connor, you go ahead.
I'm torn on this one. I mean, LSU had a big win against Florida last week. Not a great Florida team.
That was
As we
shocking,
see,
though.
yeah, it was like really exciting game to
That was
watch.
a better game than I thought that would be. That's for sure.
100%. I mean, and then like Ole Miss, they've been also interesting this year. Put up 50 points against Arkansas, bad team. Blown out by Alabama, no surprise there, and then beat Tennessee in what was the highest total in SEC football history. Um, I don't know. I think nine points could be a lot to cover.
Mm-hmm.
And feeling was LSU +9, but with the Coach O thing, a lot of distractions on the field. I kind of want to go Ole Miss here.
You
Uh,
could, you
Ole
could.
Miss is at home in
Yeah.
Mississippi.
Mm-hmm. You
I
could
don't know. I think LSU they take a lot from their fans out in Baton Rouge, and like
definitely.
that home field advantage. I think it's really big for them. So I'm gonna lean Ole Miss -9.
Yeah,
But what were you gonna say?
I don't hate that, but I think you could spin zone that same thing, and they could cut, them as a collective, as a team, and said we're gonna play our asses off for Coach O's now last season as our head coach. Like I'm not saying that that's the case, but that could easily be a spin zone, um, the other way. Like it's a tricky situation. The SEC is just chaos right now. You have Kentucky as a basketball school only losing one game now. You have Arkansas being relevant for a couple games. You have Alabama losing. The SEC is on fire. I don't know what to say. You know, you could throw past historical, trends out the window at this point. I will say though that when it comes down to it, that Ole Miss's offense is not sneaky one of the best, but they are very like they are in the top. I would say the top of uh, college football. The only thing is that their defense is just non-existent. Like you say, they put up 50 points against Arkansas, but also get 50 points put on them in that same game. Like it's hard to say. However, LSU's defense, from what I'm looking at as their stats, is not very good. They're in like fourth, just like the bottom percentile of defensive stats in college football. I am also leaning Ole Miss -9. It's a risky pick for us. It, you know, LSU is just too many question marks. What I do know is that Ole Miss's quarterback is very good. So is their offense, and I would like to take something more that I can feel more confident in, which is their offense, that team. So I will also ride with you on Ole Miss -9. Be a very interesting game. The last one, I just want to talk about it quick. Um, Utah -3, against Oregon State, excuse me, over under 56.5. I'm just taking in this game, excuse me, Oregon State +3. Utah is also, I think, is a fraud. They're frauds. They have a lot of hype every year for whatever reason. I couldn't even tell you why. But they have been lackluster this year. Both teams are 4-2, but we say good teams win and great teams cover. Utah is 2-4 against the spread, while Oregon State's 4-2. Oregon State is 3-0 against the spread at home, and 1-1 as the underdog. So I will be rocking with the Beavers +3 in that game. Connor, do you have anything to add there?
Honestly, toss in Oregon State for me. Uh, I don't know. I don't particularly like betting on any team from the Mormon State. They seem to not have the propensity to cover at all. I mean, Utah had a win. They beat number 18 Arizona State last week. Beat USC, who's not good. Beat Washington State, whose coach just got fired. Lost San Diego State, who's a good team in triple OT, and lost to BYU, who I think are frauds this year. They were ranked like 10 or something 2 weeks
We all
ago.
picked them that one week, and they just shit the bed entirely.
I know, terrible. And that's another reason like I will not bet on the Mormons. Oregon State is sneaky good this year for a team like a school that is rarely good in any sport other than baseball. Yeah, I don't know. I'm rocking with your gut feeling on this one.
Yeah, Utah is also also 1-4 as the favorite against the spread. So it just like I'm going based off the against the spread looks for both these teams. Oregon State just seems to clean up a lot nicer as far as the spread is concerned. So I'm rocking with that +3. And if you don't have anything else, Connor, we can say goodbye to the beautiful people of the internet.
Yeah, that's all I got. Remember to like, subscribe, comment on the videos, reach out on Twitter if you don't like our picks or if we made you money. Let us know. It'd be nice to hear.
Yeah, dude. I mean, if you tailed our picks this past week, I think you would have made out pretty well. But also make sure to check out our NFL picks get posted on the Men of Order blog. Their website is is for anything, technology, finance, obviously sports, geared towards men. Our picks are for anyone, obviously, but that's, we are collaborating with them. Again, like what Connor said, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I hope that everybody has a safe and wonderful weekend, and make sure to bet responsibly.